Hail, welcome to yet another broadcast. I am your host, a demoness who goes by the name of Esra. Today we have some exciting news to discuss. Firstly, I would like to personally congratulate Oot for all of the hard work that he's been putting into the game and for making it to 5 seasons of the game. I would like to also give a special shout out to all of the other devs and mods who make the game what it is. This game means everything to me and is the reason I found such joy in life. I would just like to say that the butterfly effect is a very real thing. Without this game, who knows where I would be in life right now. But without further ado, let's dive into the news. I have been retired for a long while, not playing the game for almost a year due to personal matters I will discuss towards the end of the broadcast. This video is an update and a test for a new content style I want to try out. I will officially be becoming a news anchor and discussing many topics on this platform, but more on that towards the end of the video. Our first topic of the day is dedicated to the game Boxing Beta. With the new release of Season 5 just a few days ago, there have been some changes made to the game. The first change is rounds are now timed. Yes, you heard me. Timed rounds. Of course, spam dodging was a problem. So Oot decided to just make rounds timed so matches wouldn't last for eternity. Yeah, long-lasting matches were either the best matches ever or the worst. 2 pros could just be so good that it never ended, or 2 lower elo players could just be such spam dodgers that the rounds would never end. Either way, non-timed matches had to go. Now each round is timed at approximately 5 minutes per round. Next, we got some new animation stuff since the last time I played. 2 of my personal favorites are the 2 ideals, one where you sit down and the other being where you lean against the wall. Very simple, yet very cool. Next, we have the new rank added with the new season, the new rank being Void Rank. Void Rank is the new highest rank, putting it above Master Rank. Only the very best of the best will be able to reach such a rank. Next, we have private gyms. They have added holdable flags that you can add images onto with a search of your choosing. They also added belts, which I was oblivious to before. I am well aware that some of these are not by any means new. I was just hyped to see some of this stuff since it wasn't there the last time I played before I temporarily retired. Not by choice. But now that I'm back, I'm just choosing to pick out the things I am interested in covering and putting it in the broadcast just for funsies. Now that we have gotten some updates out of the way, let's go over to leaderboards and have a little look there. For the top of the ELO leaderboard, we have these guys for the top 3. Congratulations to them for being such skilled players and climbing through the ranks. Next, we have these top 3 on the overall KO leaderboard. Congratulations to them for being so hardworking and dedicated to their craft. Lastly, we have the daily KO leaderboard. These are the top 3 Chads who spent their day collecting such high amounts of KOs to get in a single day. It sure brings me back. I'm so happy they brought back that daily KO leaderboard for Season 5. I remember when I first started playing the game and I grinded daily KOs like crazy, sometimes even reaching 1,000 a day. For our next news, we've got an upcoming fight happening in WBA boxing, it seems. There was a scheduled press conference happening live during 11:30 now on Saturday, March 7. The fight in question is supposed to be between a fighter named Romero versus Maguk. Which one will win, I don't know. Respect to the staff team of Boxing Beta for making the game what it is, and respect to both fighters of WBA Boxing for their upcoming fight. Boy, am I hyped for this next segment we're about to go over. It is the finale of The Boys. The Boys Season 5 comes out on April 8th. The second trailer was released just recently and is such hype, so let's get into it, shall we? I'll be discussing predictions of mine. The official link to all 3 of the news segments we're about to cover will be in the description below. Those are my sources. For The Boys, this is what I'm predicting will happen in the final season. Who lives and who dies? Butcher dies, one of the characters most guaranteed to die since they confirmed in Season 3 that he only has months left to live. If they go back on this, then it doesn't make sense. I doubt Butcher finds a way to cure himself or his sickness. Somehow, some way, he's going down before he dies of that sickness. With Butcher's story, it shows a man that tries to change but can't, and a man that is self-destructive for his need for revenge. So he will find a way to die, unfortunately, whether that's with or without his revenge. And Mem dies. A big part of his story is that he is like the anchor of the team that grounds everyone and keeps everyone safe. Maybe he sacrifices himself for the rest of the group and goes down that way. Plus, he was already shown in Season 4 to have heart trouble, so maybe that even catches up to him. Frenchie dies. He goes down saving Kimiko, leaving their story to be a tragic love story but somehow giving Kimiko the life she wanted before he dies and helping her. Kimiko lives because of Frenchie. She was able to live a happy life after the show is over, probably living the life she's always wanted and the life she's talked about always having with Frenchie but by herself. Hailey lives. Him and Startly live happily together at the end of it all, just like in the comics. Starlight lives. She ends up living the happy life she is meant to with Huey. A-Train dies. His redemption redemption arc would be completed if he goes up against Homelander in the deep, saving the boys. In doing so, he ends up holding them off and Homelander ends up killing him after capturing him and torturing him for his betrayal. Ryan ends up living with Huey and Starlight after all of the conflicts so they can take care of him and raise him right. Homelander lives, he survives but is depowered and can no longer harm people while being in prison. Soldier Boy lives, he ends up living and becoming the new Homelander and taking his place as the hero who stopped Homelander to the public. Maeve, wildcard, I honestly can't guess whether she would even come back, let alone whether she'd live or die. Sage lives, she's smart enough, I see her pulling something crazy off and ending up living long enough to avoid the boys and possibly getting away in the end. Firecracker dies. Homelander kills her earlier on in the season to prove how utterly insane he's become compared to before, and Stormfront takes her place, making the Seven a greater threat level to the boys. Maybe Homelander even kills her because he finds out that Stormfront is alive and wants her instead, both on the team and emotionally. The Deep dies. He ends up dying in the goofiest way you can imagine. Maybe he gets crushed under Homelander during a massive fight or something, since he always lived in Homelander's shadow and let Homelander push him around. Black Noir dies. I don't know how, but he just dies somehow. Ashley lives. She becomes just like the Deep from the comics version where he was left as the hero of a new group. It'll be the same for her. She once worked for this company in other ways, but is now fully a part of it as a superhero since she wasn't quite able to leave. Black Noir dies. I don't know how he dies either, but he doesn't live. Stormfront dies. I don't know how she'd end either if she comes back, but I think she'd die. Guy with white suit dies. He ends up being just as dark and evil as Soldier Boy, Stormfront, and Homelander. He ends up dying to Butcher though, ending his madness once and for all. Marie lives. None of the Gen V cast should die since it's not in their own spin-off show. Jordan lives. None of the Gen V cast should die. Sam lives. None of the Gen V cast should die. Kate lives. None of the Gen V cast should die. Stan lives. Just like Sage, he outsmarts the game and ends up reclaiming ownership of Vought by the end. Zoe dies. Stan uses her as a pawn and gets her killed. Love Sausage dies. Dies in horrific but funny manner. Who kills who? Killer, deceased. Butcher, a bunch of soups, guy in white suit. no one. Frenchie, no one. Kimiko, no one. Huey, no one. Starlight, no one. A-Train, a very bad soup to help the boys as a part of his redemption arc. Ryan, Butcher, Homelander, Firecracker, The Deep, A-Train, Soldier Boy, Stormfront, no one. Sage, Black Noir, The Deep, Black Noir, Firecracker, Civilians, Black Noir, no one. Black Noir, no one. Maeve, no one. Marie, no one. Marie, no one. Jordan, no one. Kate, no one. Sam, no one. Stan, Frenchie. Zoe, no one. Love Sausage, no one. Now I'll get into plot points I think will happen. That plane video of Homelander failing to save a plane finally comes back around to bite him in the ass mid-season. He begins to lose his mind, and that's when he starts to actually snap even further on the world. Stan and Sage team up at some point, really being two people that understand each other. That's when Stan's plan comes full circle, and he manages to get Sage and Soldier Boy to turn on Homelander like pawns, and they end up betraying him like Caesar had happened to him. But Sage was still in it for herself, so she ended up getting what she wanted as well. Homelander is evil to the deep again and makes him kill Black Noir, which is his best friend, just like he was made to eat the squid when he didn't want to, once again showing how he lets Homelander push him around while A-Train finally switched sides, leaving them as parallels of each other. We know good things in the boys don't last, and the show has been building the Deep's relationship with Black Noir up. Stan will use Zoe as a pawn and she will die. This is showing how cold he is, just like how he was with that woman in the comics who thought the version of him in the comics had feelings for her, but she later found out that it was all just a mask, and showing how truly evil he was all along. Masked his true feelings while using others. The new season and what it'll look like more towards the middle of the season will be Homelander, Soldier Boy, Stormfront, The Deep, new guy in white suit from the trailer, Sage, Ashley. Ashley's new power she got at the end of season 4 will be that of a reptilian. She will be able to blend in to hide herself since she was always so stressed and scared but won't switch sides. I can see it even in the way she talks and is still working for Vought. Maybe she gains reptilian powers. Ryan's story has been a back and forth between good and evil. As a child, what better ending than for him to be raised by both hopeful, more morally pure characters like Hewitt and Starlight and finally become fully good. Homelander tries to convince Ryan to join his side, so he opens up another spot in the Seven just for him by killing the Deep right in front of him. But after Ryan refuses, that's who Homelander is beating up from the trailer. During the Homelander's fight with Ryan, he beats Ryan. During the Homelander's fight with Soldier Boy beats Homelander. And so the cycle of generational abuse continues. Another plot twist that'll most likely happen is Stormfront. If she ends up not being dead in season 3 and is actually still alive, the threat level for the boys would be all that much greater. The Black Noir comes back, but is almost zombie-like since in the comics, Lamplighter had this happen where the Compound V reanimated him and made him barely conscious.
I think that when Homelander walked out on Black Noir who died, Vought found him and hid him like what happened with Lamplighter in the comics, just with Black Noir instead. I think that the V in his system didn't quite let him die. So the boys find out about this dark fact and it's like a plot twist, and and Black Noir end up teaming up on Soldier Boy since Soldier Boy DAD sort of abused Noir in the past and kill MM's family. Tries to talk to Black Noir and reason with him. There are a few parallels between characters already. Hai and Butcher both want revenge at the start of the series. The Deep and A-Train are both shit people at the start of the series. We already saw it with A-Train when it comes to his redemption arc, but he will fully be redeemed while the Deep goes the other route and becomes even more evil somehow and dies in a goofy manner. Meanwhile, Butcher will go on to die seeking revenge on Homelander, while Huey lives and learned how to forgive A-Train, and Starlight goes the route of not going full revenge mode or full forgiveness, but she does fuck up the Deep. Ashley represents being stuck in the middle, unlike A-Train or the Deep. She won't go full hero or full villain, being too scared to stand up to either side or leave, and it would make the story come full circle if A-Train specifically saved Huey and Starlight or just saved Starlight since he killed Huey's original girlfriend at the start of the series. After dies saving them all, Butcher uses that as an excuse to go full scorched earth on Soup was even further, making this his full breaking point since was the one anchoring and caring for the team. Kimiko's love story will be tragic since it should be showing two relationships ending opposites of each other. Frenchie would die for Kimiko, and so he does. Kimiko is left having the tragic, bittersweet ending of still somehow finding a new life for herself, while Hughie and Starlight both survive and live happily together. Soldier Boy and Sage end up betraying Homelander at some point, since in the prior season, Sage and Homelander compared Homelander to Julius Caesar. Homelander will get betrayed by them just like how he was betrayed, and he will end up losing his powers. Butcher will try to go the same route as the comics with killing all Soups, but the one to stop him in the show instead of Hughie is Ryan. Ryan is a super like none other. He's actually good. So maybe the big plot twist is that Ryan has to kill Butcher to stop him, or ends up killing them during their fight, and instead of Butcher dying to an evil Soup, since he hates all Soups, he dies to a good Soup, proving how not all Soups are bad. Could I be wrong? Totally. For all I know, I'm way off by a mile. But is it fun to make creative predictions of what I think may or may not happen?
For sure. For my next segment, the next season of Solo Leveling, it is confirmed that Season 3 is in the making, but an exact release date is currently unknown. I originally watched both seasons of the show, and then carried on in the manhwa, where I eventually completed the entire story. So I do know everything that will end up happening in the adaptation, and am very excited to see everything being adapted fully from the manhwa. And you should be too. Solo Leveling is peak. What type of character motivates you more than the type that can just keep leveling up and getting stronger? Lastly, for our final segment, it'll be discussing something from none other than NASA. NASA released this post on X, talking about the pillars of creation. Just take a look for yourself. Very intriguing and beautiful stuff. My favorite is the one on the right, personally. I just think it looks hella magical and beautiful compared to the one on the left. Now that would in fact be the end of our segments for today. Now moving on to the update overall that I was talking about at the beginning. This will be my new content style, so if you like, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. For the formatting of each broadcast, it'll go as such: boxing beta news and updates, co-leaderboards of the day, league fight outcomes, Roblox game of the day, overall world news, weather, funny TikToks, entertaining YouTube videos, myself, selfies with fans. And that just about sums up my plans. I plan on doing these broadcasts weekly moving forward. Feel free to subscribe so you don't miss out. But if you want an update on me, I've just been dealing with life. I had to survive both schizophrenia and homelessness, so I guess that's something. Other than that, that's an update on things and all of the segments I have for you today. Today didn't have everything I would usually include later on every week, just because I put this together really quick as a test for today to see how good it turned out. Here's a pic of a fan who wanted me to include him in a video a while back, but I always just kept forgetting until now. So here he is. Shout out to this guy for the support, it means a lot. And that just about concludes our broadcast for today. Have a wonderful night, folks. And make sure to go over and check out WBA Boxing as a league. They are goated. Hexy bless you.